Alright, 2023 has come to a close. So today I'm going to rank the 2023 all 12 of the TV shows that released last year. Actually, it is January 23rd. I'm really behind on videos, but I'm going to have a bunch more videos coming out. I'm going to have an Echo review coming very, very soon because I just finished it yesterday, and I got a lot of thoughts on that one. Sucks to say that. But anyways, I'm also going to have a comic book movie ranking of 2023. Plus, I'm also going to do a January movie ranking when January ends, because I've already seen 4 January 2024 movies. All that and more. How do you like my Ronin shirt? This is something I got for Christmas. I got with a Funko Pop. This Ronin Funko, it's right here. Almost dropped my phone where all my notes are at. Got it with this Ronin right here. Isn't he kind of cool? Look. Welcome to the family, Ronin. Welcome to the family. Place him right there. Anyways, with that said, let me know down below what is your ranking of however many TV shows you've seen. I plan on watching a lot more this year. Shows like Beef, that one show by Mike Flanagan on Netflix, The Fall of the House of Usher. Couple other shows I meant to check out, so it wasn't as big of a year. It's a bigger year than 2022, where I only seen 8 shows though. So definitely improved on my movie and TV show watching. Anyways, with that said, let's get started with number 12, my least favorite show of 2023. It's Velma. Y'all remember Velma, right? Yeah, that released in 2023. This show broke me. The show broke me and the internet. It sucks because on one hand, I really, really did kind of enjoy the mystery. I'm gonna admit it. I didn't hate the mystery. I wasn't so terrified by the mystery. I thought it was intriguing. But the whole show is just an excuse to have Mindy Kaling wanting to have sex with every single one of the Mystery Inc.'s gang. I never thought that would be a sentence that would ever come out of my mouth. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's true. Like, let's see. Fred, he's this social douchebag that all he does is, you know, oh, I only like women and I'm so dumb, but all of a sudden, I respect smart women now. Okay, Daphne is a person who's really in love with Fred, but she's trying to find herself because she's a lesbian, because she likes Velma. Same thing with Fred. Shaggy likes Velma, but Velma treats her wrong, so he has a relationship with Scooby-Doo. I'm being dead serious. He has a relationship with a girl named Scooby. Not only did they change Scooby into a girl, but they made Scooby a human. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No matter how intriguing the mystery can be, no matter how solid I think the reveals are, Mindy Kaling just made the show gross. And it's just gross. It's disgusting to watch. And it's woke. I'm sorry. But Mindy Kaling is also just forcing her views on people, like lesbians should be accepted and all this, which is cool and all. But it gets so preachy, plus you're also having all these scenes. The whole show is about, everybody loves Velma. Yeah, let's go have sex with Velma. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. It hurts my brain to even think about the show. And I hate that I even enjoyed a little bit of it. Because Mindy Kaling is just absolutely disgusting. Disgusting in the show. And it's just gross. And it's... My brother made me watch all 10 episodes of it. That's a sentence I never wanted to ever say. Let's move on to number 11, which is The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, to be clear, I did rewatch both previous seasons of The Mandalorian before this one, and Season 1 wasn't necessarily my thing. I wasn't that big of a fan of Season 1. I felt that it was just kind of, yeah, let's go on these mini adventures the whole show, and then all of a sudden we got this big stakes, and that's the end of our season. I really liked Season 1 when it first came out. Over time, just didn't grow on me. Season 2, I think, is pretty great. And, of course, it's got that great finale that even, inspires, includes that. So, going into Season 3, they had this big silver platter, had the ingredients right there, right? The directors go in, and there's signs everywhere that say, use this, use this, use this, use these ingredients. Signs everywhere. They forgot their reading glasses. They're like, that's probably not important. They go off and do their own thing, and at the final 2 episodes, producer comes up and says, here's your reading glasses, you probably should have used this, the majority of it. I'm like, oh, okay, let's use that for the final 2 episodes. That and being is retaking Mandalore, which should be pretty obvious the center standpoint for The Mandalorian Season 3. Final 2 episodes are the 2 best episodes of Star Wars that I think Star Wars has ever made on TV. And it's just, oh my gosh, like, why didn't you do that the first 8 episodes? I don't even know how many episodes a season is. I'm just saying 8. So, why didn't you do that? It's just so frustrating. Like, they find every cheat code to make anything be as lame as possible. It's like they tried to destroy their own show. They didn't even try to make it fun or do anything that would be cool until the final 2 episodes when they finally have the final battle with Moff Gideon. Oh my god, it's awesome. It is awesome. But the whole rest of the show, like, you have the conflict of, what's her name? Bo-Katan needs the Darksaber, but you can only win it in battle, and all of a sudden you just got the Mandalorian being like, oh yeah, also she technically beat me in a battle earlier, so yeah, here you go. My god, it's so anticlimactic. It's wasted. Every cool thing that could have been done to this show is wasted. And it pisses me off that we could have had a great Mandalorian Season 3 and it's just wasted. Number 10, Barry Season 4. Now, if you don't know, I think Seasons 1, 2, and most of 3 is some of the best television of all time. It's funny. It combines 2 great genres in action hitman genre and a theater comedy drama. Combines them perfectly to where it's funny, it's charming, and the action is great, and you fall in love with these characters. I don't know what went wrong with Season 4. I don't know what went wrong. Like, it feels like in the producer's room, these people are like, okay, I know you guys need 2 more seasons, but we don't want there to be 5 seasons. We only want there to be 4. So, here, do whatever you want with this season and just kind of try to close it out, this 4 seasons. We're not giving you another season. So, what they do is the first half of the show, they set up character arcs, which is really good. Some of the best character arcs I think this show could have. Then you hit the halfway point, you skip 20 years in the future. Not 20 years, but they have like a 10-year-old son, so it's got to be some future years. They skip multiple years in the future, and then they're all of a sudden like, they completely forget all those plot lines, make new plot lines, resolve them really quick in the last couple of episodes, and then that's the end of the show. Like, it feels like the halfway point could have been the season finale. Like, that would have been great. We would have already resolved all of the plot lines that we've had earlier in a couple more episodes, and then have that scene be the end, and then you go to Season 5, which would have been another great Season 5. Both of these individual parts were pretty good, but it forgets everything that was set up. You don't get the resolve, and then you get another plot lines where you get the resolve, but it's so rushed. Like, it's rushed in like 3 episodes. Like, I just felt like what went wrong. If you gave it 1 more season, this would have been a perfect show. And you kind of just butcher that. And I don't know if it's the producer's fault or what, but it didn't really work for me. Number 9, What If Season 2. And let's be honest here, the show personally for me is not my thing. Like, it does nothing wrong. It's not that bad. It's got the great animation, cool stories to tell. But answer me this. I'm watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters, or Percy Jackson and the Olympians, or screw it, say even something like Walking Dead or The Boys. I'm watching those shows, and I have to stop watching them so I can binge this one, which the only thing for this show is it's a it's a anthology series. That's what it is. It's random episodes showcasing different points in time, which is cool and all. It's cool, but it's just not my thing. Like, I'd much rather watch a story-based show that has actual stories that I'm invested in and can't wait to watch the next episode, instead of pausing those shows to go binge this one. Not gonna lie, I only watched 5 episodes of the season. 5 episodes, I thought they were pretty good. They were pretty fine. But I just didn't want to watch it. Like, every time I clicked on the episode, I'm like, I really wish I was watching Monarch, or I really, really wish I was watching Percy Jackson, or The Boys, or whatever, because those are shows that intrigue me. They get me excited for the next episode, where this is just like, yeah, that was fun to watch. It was good. Like, I don't have any personal grievance towards it. I'm not mad at the show or anything. It's just this slow because I'd much rather watch any story-based show than this season. Number 8, Ahsoka, and to be clear, right here, I think is where I'd start saying these shows are pretty good. I really, really like these shows. Now, this show in particular, I think is probably the best Star Wars show that we've gotten. It's got Jedi action, which is pretty great. It's got Ahsoka, who is pretty cool. It's got all the things that you want from this with a world-ending threat that sets it up all very nicely. I think it does that all particularly well. And for me, who's not a fan of Star Wars, I genuinely don't like most of the Star Wars stuff. I said to myself watching this show, I'm like, yeah, it's actually really good and one of the best Star Wars things. And to the last 2 episodes, and I felt like I just was missing something. You find Ezra, and you go to this, the girl, Sabine Wren, and who basically just let Thrawn off the planet. He's going to destroy the galaxy. And you're just like, it's okay, you tried your best. You did your best, it's okay. Here's a cookie. Let's go on our merry way. We just destroyed the galaxy, but let's relax. And that's just kind of the way it ends. Like, you get the cliffhanger, and it just isn't resolved good because you're sitting there like, she should... What? Why are they happy? They just destroyed the galaxy almost. The galaxy might just be destroyed. Why are you happy? Like, tones didn't match up. So last couple episodes kind of disappointing, but the rest of the show I think is a pretty good Star Wars show. Number 7, The Last of Us. To be clear, Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2... probably my favorite video game series of all time. I think the Last of Us games are absolutely incredible. This was my most anticipated thing of 2023. I don't care about Spider-Man 2 game. I don't care about any movies. I was so excited for this. Like, this was one of the most excited things I've been for anything in a long, long time. And I think that's part of the reason why I was just a tad bit disappointed. I was just a little bit disappointed because typically I was so excited for it and it just really didn't live up. Now, it did fix a lot of the issues that I didn't have with the first game. Like, the couple issues I had was it felt repetitive. This show and a TV show, you don't feel the constant need for having to have action or something to do. So you could tell more story instead of just having all of a sudden, you got more guys coming in, they beat those guys and they're invincible and they're like Superman and whatever. So you can have that and that works. The ending in the game I thought was really, really forced to where I really didn't like the ending where he rescues Ellie. It feels like it was just kind of forced in there. Here, with the actors, they can display emotions better than video game characters and voice actors, so I feel like that works. That's not a diss on Troy Baker. It's not a diss on The Last of Us game. It just feels more natural if you're a human being. And so that it works through that. And just the monsters are great. A lot of the shows, it's don't get me wrong, it's a good show. I really enjoyed the show. But I also felt kind of disappointed with a lot of it to where each episode I kind of just was like rewatching some other episodes. I'm like, come on, I just want to feel something. I don't feel as great. I don't feel like the show is as great as I wanted it to. And so to where we even get like an episode, and don't get me wrong, it's a great episode where you get a gay romance in the apocalypse, but you're telling this story and you're like right in the height of things where you're finally going off on this journey and you get a story of Bill and I forget the other guy's name. Yeah, they have sex and, you know, they love each other. Like, it's a great episode in a different show, but it's not something I really would want to watch. So, but a little disappointing. Wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it's still solid. Number 6, Skull Island. If you don't know what this is a animated, kind of anime, I guess, show on Netflix that I had no idea until just a little while ago, a couple weeks ago, that it's part of the Monsterverse. It's a Monsterverse animated TV show on Netflix. And I liked it. I had some issues with it. I'm not a big fan of this animation style. Never was, never probably will be. And I really wish we had more Kong for a Skull Island show. Kong was on the front and center. You only get him for like 2 episodes in the end. But for the most part, I think this is really good. And the thing that works here is that out of all the Monsterverse, even like Monarch Legacy of Monsters, which I have 2 episodes left, I still really like it. Even after those shows, these characters are the most interesting, to where you meet this girl, she's instantly in trouble with these bad guys. And you're sitting there and you're like, I want to know what her deal is. So you keep wanting to watch the next episode. I want to know what her deal is. What's her deal? What's her deal? And when you finally get the reveals, I think they work. They're solid reveals. Every other character has a unique character arc or a unique thing about them to where you like the characters. In every other Godzilla or MonsterVerse project, besides Kong Skull Island, you're kind of just like, you're there for the monster stuff. This one makes it really interesting. It doesn't make the human story goofy or anything. It makes it interesting where you keep clicking on the next episode like, I want to see more. I want to know what's going on. I am all intrigued. And so, out of all the rewatch of the MonsterVerse so far, I've seen the first Godzilla, Skull Island, Monarch Legacy of Monsters, this, and Godzilla vs. Kong. This is last place for me right now. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just because I could have used just a little bit more monster, and I don't like the animation. But the characters are really, really, really cool, and really something I wish MonsterVerse takes more off of. Kicking off our top 5 of 2023, Twisted Metal. This was a show I wasn't planning on watching. I saw Twisted Metal. I thought it was a metal band competition thing. I had no idea what this was. Then 3C Films reviewed it. He said it's based off a video game. It's got Anthony Mackie in it. Okay, I'll give it a shot. And it feels just like a fun television show. It's 10 episodes long. Each episode's 30 minutes. The characters are fun. Anthony Mackie is in this one. Neve Campbell is in this one, shockingly. It's just a lot of fun. It's basically you're basically driving a car across the country. You got this mission. You want to root for him. You're rooting for him. And the final twist is good, setting up for a good season 2. You get characters like Sweet Tooth, the clown, who is absolutely insane and I think really, really cool. Sweet Tooth is really cool in this show, by the way. I think he is pretty awesome. But then you get all this, you get all the plot lines, you get all the action that you want from it, where it's just you sit down for half an hour time when you watch this, and you're like, that was really fun. I wouldn't mind seeing more of this, and keep watching. It's really entertaining. And for a show on Peacock that I wasn't looking forward to, I'm kind of surprised. Number 4, The Bear. And the Bear Season 2, by the way. The Bear Season 1, I thought was good. I thought it was fine. Really captures the vibe to work in a stressful environment at a restaurant, because restaurants are one of the most stressful environments out there. But you also kind of felt clunky, where you get episodes that feel like it's Oscar worthy. And then you get episodes that are just like filmed and released that don't feel like they have any heart in it. And the first half of the show is kind of like that, to where final episode in that show in season 1 is absolutely great, and you hope that they continue just go that same way through this. And the first, I don't know, 3, 4 or so episodes are kind of just like that, to where just kind of like they're shot, they edited, thrown out there you go. And like it's kind of back and forth, to where you also got like the Oscar class level episodes. Once you reach the episode Fish, it's all like, nah, we're gonna do it the Oscar way. The rest of the show is the Oscar way, and I think it's really good when it's that. You start to care about the characters, and I don't know if this is because I took a break. I took a break from the show. I stopped right before the episode Fish, and I finally just binged the rest of it, and it kind of worked. But it's a heartfelt story where you finally start caring about these characters, and you care about the restaurant, you care about Carmy, you care about the cousin, you care about all these characters, to where by the end of the season, when you get the mom there, you're kind of just like, ooh, that's kind of sad. And by the way they leave the characters off, you're like, I want a season 3 right freaking now. This better be out in 2024, because I want to see season 3 and know what happened to these characters, because it's just kind of heartfelt and emotional through all that too. Like each episode I was almost at tears, because it makes you feel good. You're feeling good watching this show, and that's a good thing. When you sit down and watch a show and you leave the show like, that makes me feel good, until the very end where it completely devastates you. See, I almost said episode 3, then season 3. I'm a dunce. Number 3, Only Murders in the Building, season 3. That was complicated. So season 2 kind of disappointed me. Season 1, one of the greatest shows of all time. Season 2 kind of force-fed you some things. Didn't necessarily work. I thought it was fine, but had a couple of issues. Going into this one, I thought the way they left it off and left you waiting for the next one kind of was just dumb. I thought that it would be a much better idea if they take these characters, put them on the road, go to random places, to other places, and I wasn't looking forward to this mystery. I think this one works. It goes back to what the first season did. It doesn't try to force feed you a romance from Mabel and a girl. It doesn't try to do any of that. What it does is it makes it where it's all about romance, where these characters fall in love. Like, the theme is love here, and I think it works. It completely works to where, like, you're losing your girlfriends. You want your girlfriends, but you also want the mystery, and you don't want them to ruin the mystery. And, like, the theme for that really works to where then you get to the reveals, and it's about love, but it's about a mother's love for her child, which really works. And where you finally find out who actually killed him, you're like, no, oh wow, you don't want that to happen. Where it gets kind of emotional, and it really kind of works. On top of that, I think that it's the funniest season. It's the funniest season since season 1, hands down. I was dying every night, and there goes my dog barking. I apologize. But I watched this at night when my whole family's sleeping, and I gotta keep it down, but I'm dying laughing. It's absolutely hilarious. And so it's just goes back to the roots in season 1, makes a mystery. You like the reveals really work. It's kind of taking a musical route, which kind of works. It's about love, the theme's about love, and I think that really works. And even with the end of the show, the end of the season, where you kind of, oh, there's another murder in the building, you don't feel that. You're not just like, oh, that's kind of repetitive. You feel like that's a death that means a lot to them, and I'm excited to see the rest of it, the season 4. So, big step up from season 2. And yes, that's right. My top 2 are Marvel shows. MCU has been really going downhill lately. Echo is another one that I can't wait to talk about. Ew. Yeah, the Marvel shows that released this year I thought were really good. Starting with number 2, I get a lot of hate for this one. People have literally told me they unsubscribed from my channel, lost respect for me for liking this one. I just want them to know, I don't care. I don't care. So, number 2, Secret Invasion. I'm pretty sure you could have guessed. Secret Invasion. I get it. I get it. A lot of you thought it was predictable, just boring. Same thing you've seen 1,012 times before. For me, I felt like this is the show that matches the hype for WandaVision. You have not seen a single MCU show since 2021, which is only 1 year, but you haven't seen a show like that, except through this show right here. It captures the vibe. To where I went every day, and the internet wasn't talking about it, but me and my friends would talk about it. Me and my friends would sit there for hours. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen next. Who's a Skrull? Who's not a Skrull? Who's going to die? And it just, you never get that feeling since the MCU has so sucked lately. Like, it sucked. The MCU has sucked. And so, once you get to show where you're like, oh, I can actually talk about this with people, and it feels good to talk about this, and it gets you excited for the next episode. It's really good. I really like the espionage part. I really like the cast. I really like the deaths that were there. The reveals were shocking. And you just kind of felt like it's the show that I could talk to with people about. It captures that vibe. And I just really, really love the show. I really love the season. And then you get to the last episode to where it's just another CGI battle that's rushed. Cool. But the way they set up a season 2... but the Skrulls are there, it's going to be a war between the humans and the Skrulls, I think is set up really good. And so I get it. A lot of you didn't like this show. A lot of you thought the ending was offensive. I didn't like the ending either. But for me, I could sit there and talk about the show with my friends, and we would absolutely lose it and love each next episode until the last episode. So I thought this captured the vibe really well that I was going for. Number 1, you already know, Loki Season 2. Marie, if you're watching, you're welcome. I knew that you would want this one. But Loki Season 2, it's perfect. It's pretty perfect. I watched it twice. First time I watched it, I thought to myself, it's really good. I like that there's no action. It's not the same. It's really good, but it's kind of confusing away. And once you, like, learn the answers and you rewatch it again, you realize that it's just so perfect to where not only is it a Marvel show that you don't need constant, and I do mean constant, action and CGI battle in the end. it's a character study. You're following the character of Loki as he's trying to fix his problem, where you get to the end and you realize the only way to fix your problem is sacrifice yourself. It's a great character arc. It's the best character arc in the MCU. Besides, probably Iron Man. Iron Man's perfect, but this one's perfect, where you don't want him to do it, but when he does it, you're just kind of like, oh, wow. He's stuck there forever, sacrificed himself because of his friends, and it's perfect. It feels like it's going for the Oscars, and it feels like it's going for something that's not the MCU. It's trying to do something unique and special, and it does. To where you go through the whole season, and you get it. It's the threat of the timeline's on there, but because you don't have a CGI battle, it doesn't feel like the threat of the timeline. It feels like a personal story. And so you don't have the big battles, but you have the uniqueness of it all, and the character arcs that work, and they all fit together. And it just was really, really, really good and really powerful. And Marvel has made a masterpiece of a show. The shows this year were great. Echo is not great. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Echo. Gonna have a review coming up this week for that. Tell me, what is your ranking of all the shows you've seen? How many shows have you seen this year? What is your ranking of them all? What is your opinion on Secret Invasion? Are you gonna unsubscribe from my channel because you lost all respect for me because I actually like a show that you didn't like? I want to know all that and more. You know who I'm looking at, Hunter. Yeah, you. Anyways, thank you guys for clicking on this video, and it's been an honor. And with that said, subscribe, join the Nerd Army. Peace out.